Hello there. It is 7:21 p.m. on Sunday, March 15th, 2026. And I got to tell you, I'm feeling quite blessed and quite lucky. It was quite a day. Super crazy. I got no service here. But I did 31.3 miles. I'm not really sure. I thought today was supposed to be a 27 mile day. Oh, there's a little cold here. But I guess that wasn't the case. Math is hard. Counting is hard. But yeah, they say the trail provides, and I try to hold faith in that because I'm just like, well, when something doesn't work out, like thankfully, as I've mentioned many times before, you just got to keep going. Because like if your initial thought of what was going to resolve your situation is inadequate, then you got to keep walking to find the thing that becomes adequate. And so I was hoping to stay tonight outside of this church that was like, I don't know, like less than a mile behind where I am now. And then I got to the church and they were like actively having a service inside of it. And I was like, dang, that sucks. And it was like a Baptist church, and the guy who was behind the pulpit looked like he was having some fiery words. And there was a part of me that thought about like going in there and just like requesting sanctuary, because they had a really nice back patio that was actually on this stream and creek that is on this river. I was on this road today for like the bulk of the second half of my day, called NC 209, which is also what is known as the Rattler. And the Rattler interestingly seems to be very similar to the Dragon's Tail, which I biked back when I was on the long errand ride. And yeah, I have to say this road was pretty nice to walk on. Yesterday when I made my accommodations at the hostel that I hope I'm actually only 17 miles away from, she told me to be wary of this road because it is curvaceous and that it didn't have much of a shoulder. But I have to tell you, this road, the Rattler 209, was so much better than the road that I had to walk on yesterday, which was Soco Road. Soco Road, now that road could certainly be given a talking to about its level of pedestrian friendliness. But this one, I mean, I was like, for large swaths of the day, I was kind of just walking wherever I wanted to, whatever was most comfortable on the road. Like, it was very, very low traffic, and I have no idea why. And I will not look that gift horse in the mouth. And speaking of which, to get back to where I am now, so the Baptist church was a bust, and I was like, well, dang, you walk 30 miles to a place really hoping against hope that like your destination will mean something. You get there, you realize, oh, this isn't going to work at all. And then it's like, well, I have no contingency plan except to keep walking and to keep vigilant. And, it's like 20 minutes until the sun goes down. So it's like, dang, I'm not going to be able to like see anything here soon. The situation was getting a little drastic, or not really even drastic, but the stakes were raising, let's say that. And so I was walking down because there's like, I've been looking at this area on the map for, I don't know, more so today than any other day for sure. And I knew that there was sort of like a defunct general store that is at an intersection that's not so far from here. And I was like, well, if it's a gas station, maybe I could like, I don't know, find somewhere within there to be safe and secure, because it's supposed to rain tonight. And it was raining a little bit even as I walked down the road earlier today. And so finding somewhere safe and secure that would also be a place I could set my tent up and just know that I would be dry. That was a vital thing. And also tonight will be a test of my polyurethane reinforcement of my seams of my tent. So I don't know how much it's supposed to rain overnight. I think the chances are kind of low. I think that the rain is really supposed to kind of pick up throughout the day, or at least I'm kind of hoping that it is going to be that way. It should be an interesting 24 hours, 24 hours from now, all things going well. I should be at the Appalachian Trail, which is a hostel in Hot Springs. And again, that's supposed to be 17 miles from here. It's supposed to be mostly downhill trending. And if the road is as accommodating as it was today, because I'm going to be on this road all day tomorrow, I think it'll pretty much be a dream no matter how bad the weather is. And the weather is supposed to be pretty bad tomorrow. I was watching the news this morning. I stayed in that hotel last night, and my remote control didn't work for my TV, and I was like not even about to start looking into what I could do for that, because I was just like, man, I stayed up late last night. Like, I was up until like 10 p.m. and I was like, this is going to kill me tomorrow. These kind of days, it's so vital to have like that 12-hour sleep cycle that I'll have tonight. Like, because even if I go to bed at 8 and get up at 6, which I'm kind of playing with the idea of, especially if it's still dry, like, that's 10 hours of sleep, But I went to bed at 10 and got up at 7. And I guess that's, 9 hours of sleep? That's not that much different. Maybe I got more sleep than I thought. I didn't sleep super well last night. I think I definitely sleep better in the woods in these kind of situations. Or maybe just not even better, but differently. Like, I just felt like I woke up quite a few times last night, and just it was difficult to get comfortable for whatever reason. I mean, it's always difficult to get comfortable, especially in situations like this as well. Got a bunch of like little spiders coming in my tent. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I slept fine enough. So I guess, I'm really just jazzed about this campsite because I'm like a couple hundred feet above the road, and I don't think that anyone within reason would notice that my tent is up here. And there's no way a vehicle could get up here. And there's no indication that a vehicle has been up here anytime recently. And I don't think that anyone would come by tonight. Could be wrong, but I have faith that that is the case. That's where the evidence is pointing, and it's a decent view. I can see the road below me. I just think, again, going back to like when I was doing the long errand, like I think drivers especially, and probably myself included, you're not looking around very much, especially on a road like this, and especially on a hilltop like this. Like, there is absolutely no impetus for you to like look up this hill and see me here. I mean, it certainly probably does kind of stick out like a sore thumb, because it is a red tent, which is regrettable. I think the new version of this tent is green, which, man, I would so much prefer that. So I don't know. There's not a lot of traffic, and the chances that someone would look up are low. And also, I don't know who. There's no houses close to me. It's just like an old road, an old Jeep road that maybe like four-wheeler enthusiasts sometimes go on, but it's going to rain tonight, so not tonight. Oh my gosh, I'm all over the place. It was a long day, man. It was just like so long. I look forward to not doing 30-mile days in the very near future, which is to say tomorrow. And I look forward to a 0, just like let my whole body rest. The hotel was really, really nice. I couldn't think of a better solution for the evening, and I'm glad ultimately that I did it. But I'm also excited about the idea of being back on trail and just having like places that I can go to and not feel insecure about. I'm also excited to have water again, because that was another thing that was just difficult about the day, is I had to carry at a certain point, which was probably about less than halfway through the day, I had to carry 1, 2, 3.5 liters of water. So basically a gallon, and that's 8 extra pounds, which makes my feet not so happy. But in any case, chronology-wise, got up at 7 this morning, jumped in the shower real quick just to freshen up. Might as well, get all that money's worth and then went and had a huge breakfast. I would say in terms of quality, it was probably a 2 out of 10. It was certainly good enough, but man, I won't even go into it because it might make me nauseated. Let's just say, so today I listened to this book called AWOL on the Trail. And AWOL, if you're a thru hiker, he's the guy who makes the AWOL guide to the Appalachian Trail, which is like, a pretty official guide of everything on the Appalachian Trail. They've since merged with another brand. I don't remember what it's called, but he was describing how he had some tummy troubles and had to like run into the woods a couple of times, one time after town. And let's just say the breakfast that I had actually, I don't want to be graphic, but let's just say I had a moment today where I had my own tummy troubles, and it was very disconcerting for a moment. Everything was fine. Everything is still fine, but it's just not a situation that you want to hope for, But yeah, ate that large, nasty breakfast and set myself up for a certain kind of doom. And I was out on the trail at about 8:30 or so, which was good. I thought today was going to be, 5 miles of a shorter day, which was not the case. But yeah, hit the trail. So I was walking through Maggie Valley towards Lake Junaluska. Not much to report about that. Got into Lake Junaluska and okay, this is kind of, well, it's not funny, but it's just like one of those things that happens that is like serendipitous, coincidental, and eventually like fruitful, I guess. But like I was walking to this Food Lion, and I thought I was being real smart. I thought I was going to go like behind this shopping center plaza and take a road that would connect me to it, which ended up just being like someone's driveway. So I had to do like this pretty big climb that was probably, I don't know, it might have added a half mile in total for me to do this. And then had to backtrack from where I'd gone up this driveway, and then ultimately went to this Food Lion. And it was like, I don't know, 11:30 or something when I went to the Food Lion. And because it was Sunday, I wasn't allowed to buy any kind of wine, which I'm now drinking, until noon. And I was like, dang, like I can't kill 30 minutes just to buy like wine. Like that's pathetic on a multitude of levels. And so I was like kind of lamenting that. And then I did a quick resupply, of which I'm excited to delve into. And then it ended up that like my feet were starting to feel like I needed to tape up some of my blisters, because road walking is pretty different compared to trail walking. We've talked about it before, but yeah, there's like a lot of static pressure that occurs on your feet because you're just like pounding the same exact areas over and over again. And so different issues occur on the road compared to on the trail, which is more dynamic and requires you to like not have repetitive use injuries basically. And so it was just actually beneficial that I took that opportunity to also tape up my feet, because then it was noon and I was able to get some wine. So I have wine. I'm happy about that. If I didn't have wine, I would be sad about that. So it's better to be happy than to be sad. And here I am enjoying the fruits of my labor. And yeah, after that, I pressed on from Lake Junaluska, got on to 209 proper, and I have to say, for 2 days in a row, there have been two different people who have passed me. One guy yesterday in a truck. Both people were in trucks. Yesterday, some guy, he yelled out his window. He said, "Hiker trash," and then he threw a tangerine at me, like respectfully, like he wanted me to eat it. And that was my dessert last night. And then today, some guys asked me if I was lost, and I said no. And then they threw me a thing of beef jerky, which I'm actually probably not going to eat because it goes bad like April 1st of this year. And so I think it must be really, really old beef jerky, because beef jerky, usually when you buy it, it doesn't go bad for like 3 or 4 years. So I don't like the idea that they just like rummaged around in their car and like threw something at me. I do like that they were nice and presumably beneficent and innocuous, but I fear being poisoned. So in any case, yeah, got on 209, and then it was like, man, what a slog from 209. I think it was 18 miles on 209, and then I have 17 miles tomorrow to finish it out. And again, that's the Rattler, so there's like, I don't know, 32 curves and 32 miles or something like that. I don't even remember. But yeah, I walked until I found this little Jeep road pull off, and I was like, man, I gotta go at least look up there, because usually the way these roads work is that they level out eventually. And so thank goodness, after climbing, it's got to be 300 feet, I don't know, it's pretty steep to get up here. I came to a level enough spot, set up my tent, set up my bed, set up everything, and now here I am, just settled in for the evening, and I'm excited to go to bed, like just get ready and prepare for whatever tomorrow's going to bring. I know it's supposed to, like by like later afternoon, the temperature is supposed to drop pretty steadily from like 50 all the way down to 30, and then I'll be, if all goes well, I'll be in Hot Springs before the worst of the weather really hits. But man, this has been it. Honestly, I was between a rock and a hard place, because being in the Smokies, I'm still very concerned about anyone who goes out there, or anyone who might be already out there and kind of stuck there, because I just don't think that that's a very safe place to be at this point. And tomorrow will really be the tale. It will tell the tale tomorrow as to whether or not, like, it was actually as dangerous as I feared. But yeah, dude, I mean, man, yeah. Strategic toe wrapping leads to wine. That was one of my notes. Orange and jerky. Yeah, man. It was a day. It was definitely a day. I don't feel like I have much more to say. I need to kind of tend to my needfuls now, And, oh yeah, well, okay. Actually, I didn't even make a note of this, but interestingly, I have now found pepper spray on the road twice in my life. So there was one point on the Rattler where I walked by some place that looked like someone had had their car broken into, but more likely, they actually just had a car accident, like a minor one, because it was just like broken glass and like a broken side view mirror. And I found a pocket knife and a thing of pepper spray, and I kept the pepper spray, and I still have it. I'm living the dream. I have seen many, many nice people within the last 2 days, and that is something worth celebrating, outside of the pepper spray and all that kind of stuff. So I enjoyed interacting with the kind people who I interacted with today and yesterday. And yeah, man, what else is there even to say? I don't even know. I'm excited to get back on trail. I might take 2 zeros. Who knows? We'll see. And yeah, man, for now, I'm going to leave it there because I feel fried. And I feel happy and lucky to be where I am, because this is perfect. No matter what happens tonight, I'm at a good place and I'm at a good point, and I am grateful for that. And there's no better way to end a clip aside from the obligatory and perfunctory love you, bye.